introduction for Joyce. Hey everybody, we're here back again with another live stream. Our chats about applied personality theory. Today we're with Joyce Meng, who has her own YouTube channel. I believe it's just Joyce Meng, if that's right. And we're going to talk about applying typology in our lives today. And specifically, we're going to be almost interviewing Joyce about how she likes to use it in her life, what her future goals are, etc. We are Personality Type Q&A. I'm Julian. This is Josh and Alex, and we're joined with Joyce. So,
what's up, guys?
It is.
Hey, everyone.
All right, let's get this party started. So, Joyce, for the record, for everyone watching, what is your YouTube channel? Applied Personality? Is that what you said, Julian?
No, I think it's just Joyce Meng.
Oh, is it just Joyce? Okay. What's your YouTube channel for those watching so they know how to find you?
Yes, so my name is Joyce Meng, and my YouTube channel is called that as well. The series that I'm doing is called Type Talks, and I invite guests on to talk about their experiences as their type, because I saw the need to bring theory to real life and to bridge the two. And so I thought there was a niche, and so I tried to create it.
Cool.
Nice, yeah, and it's really picking up steam there. I've been featured on it. I've watched a few of them, and they're quite entertaining and interesting to look at all the different types, not the different types, but one type interacting with each other in a single setting. And I think people get a lot of value out of that, so it's pretty dope to watch. Just throwing my 2 cents in there.
This is gonna be more of a conversation type talk today, right?
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely a conversation type style thing. I said almost interview because we have a guest on, and although this is going to be like a very open sort of chat, we are kind of, I think, curious into Joyce's mind in a way. And so it's not necessarily like we're going to be interviewing, but it's just sort of like we're generally interested in Joyce here. Just to say. But we know that Joyce has been in the kind of MBTI community for a while and objective personality. And clearly she's on a roll using this information, and she has a YouTube channel. She knows what she's talking about. But we're kind of interested to know what she wants to accomplish in this lifetime, or like what do you accomplish in your lifetime when you have this information, especially if you're a Joyce?
Yeah. So I've read every single book that's been published in typology, or almost every at least popular book. And I've purchased every course. I've been in every type space. And so what it does for me and why it's important to me is because it gets you closer to a person's essence. And I think I'm really interested in the unchanging core of other people. And I feel like the closer I get to it, the more intimate I am with the abstract concept of that person. So it's a way for me to almost feel close with other people without really knowing much about them, but still knowing a lot just from a little bit. And so there's this fascination with human behavior I have. And what it does for me is it gives me purpose, because I think when you understand human behavior, you can understand what people really care about, and you can get there quicker. You can know what people what makes them tick, and why they are alive, and what their skill sets are. You get to know them beyond their job, beyond their relationship status. And that's why I like personality type. It's something beneath the surface. It's almost like you're closer to the inside of that person's puzzle. And I don't know, and it's puzzling. So it's fun to puzzle people.
Yeah. Do you find it's pretty fun to do you feel like sometimes you know more about somebody than that they know about themselves, right? And so it's especially when you know their type, because you're kind of going to be aware of blind spot areas and what their automatic behavior actually is. So do you have a hard time with that with friends and family, or do you find it just brings you more understanding, and it's not hard to I guess here's what I'm getting at, is because sometimes it's hard for me to not overspeak. Well, this is what you're doing. This is what you're doing. And people don't want to hear that all the time. But I'm also external processor. But I'm just curious to your experience in that.
Yes. So the areas it's really helped me in, I used to facilitate the tool, like the Myers-Briggs in organizations. And in the way that it's really practically able to be used is in diversity and inclusion. So when you know someone is different from you, you can treat them the way that they need to be treated. And so there's the golden rule, treat others the way you want to be treated. But then there's an even better rule, the platinum rule, treat others the way they want to be treated. And so what personality type teaches us is how to treat others the way they would want to have it. And so it's to be, it's to be less ego and to center ourselves more around the truth of another person. And so it's good for diversity and inclusion because it's kind of like learning if someone's right-handed or left-handed. Instead of living life like only people are right-handed, if you know that left-handed people exist, you can respect their way of being, and then you can work with their natural strengths instead of trying to convert them into a right-handed person. And so it's a really good lesson in diversity and inclusion that, you know, you have thinkers, but you also have the opposite end. You have feelers. You have to make room for both. You cannot act like one doesn't exist, or you'll cause these, like, you know, Dave Superpower says, tidal waves. And so it's like tidal wave awareness. It's good for that. And it's good for leadership development. So if you have a leader who knows that their followers are different, you're able to lead your followers better with less resistance and more buy-in. And and people find that departments tend to have certain personality types that cluster around them. Like you'll have marketing, you'll have some more extroverts in the more extroverted field. And with IT, there's a slight tilt towards introversion, you know, and you'll realize that maybe these departments are having a miscommunication, and how you can really solve that is like to know about each other's personality types. And like the IT isn't being standoffish on purpose or like cold or uncommunicative. It's just that they're accidentally being too much of an introvert. And maybe if you know that, you can create a plan to better deal with that instead of having people who are then butting heads with no way to resolve it. You, like, what I'm saying is that personality type helps you take things less personally.
Yeah.
Like if someone if someone were to cross you, like your first response is maybe like, oh, you know, maybe they're a douche. But like if you know about personality type, it's like, oh, maybe it's from their wiring and it's just who they are. And so you get to have that removedness. Like you don't have to take it so personally. Like a saying I like is that no one wakes up in the morning thinking about ways to piss you off. Like no one's like, man, how can I
babe.
Off today?
Look at her face.
She's not having it. Slap him.
Actually,
no, I'm just kidding.
So two things that brings me to really quick is one, I love what you said really quick about it helps you treat people the way that they want to be treated. I never thought of it that way for some reason. And man, if I had that mindset, I would be so much more compassionate and better. So that's going to make me a better person. So thank you for that. And then two, that's a gift. And then two, Julian, I have a question. So like, I think there's like an evolution to like growth in the personality field, right? Especially when you learn objective personality and stuff. Maybe all of them, but for me, it's been OP. That's helped a lot. I think that where I'm at, I'm still not there yet. I think it comes to a point where it's like you're aware of everyone's functions, and you also accept that that's how it is, and you're not trying to get people to still be TE or to be your functions, right? And I'm still having a hard time on that because I still think, even though I'm aware, I still think people should be this way, like in my areas, right? I'm like, well, why don't you just be more or less emotional, or why don't you, you know, and things like that. When I'm like, so it's still a challenge for me, and I think that's probably the evolution of personal growth on awareness. So I'm curious to both of you guys is like, do you guys feel that, where do you feel you're at on that spectrum, I guess, as far as like when you see other functions that are opposite of yours, does it still trigger you? Are you still trying to get them to be the way you want? And yeah, I'm curious to that, I guess, with you guys.
Yeah, I would say that it definitely does trigger me, having grown up with some people that were quite opposite for me. And even when I meet people who are quite opposite to me, it's not necessarily that I want to project myself onto them as to like, this is how they should be acting. It's more like a complete divide in understanding what their motivation is coming from and what they want to gain from how they're acting. Because it's just like my mind, the way that I see it in personality is that, you know, from an early age, somehow cognitively, I understood these are the traits that I should move towards to succeed in life. And I don't know whether that's genetic or whether that's learned or however you want to look at it. Some people think genetic, but clearly the way that I act has something to do with a survival mechanism or some unconscious idea of what is the right way to act. Like, this is how I'm going to succeed. This is how I act. This is why we call them saviors and objective personalities, because we believe these are the things that are going to save us. And so we keep moving back to them. And I mean, I think that I'm not really that far on the road either. Like, I think that I'm at a point where I can understand better that people have different needs than myself, and that they're living them out and they're acting them out and they're trying to get these needs in some way or some shape. But there's still a divide in seeing, like, okay, I understand why you want this need, and I also understand how you can get more of a balanced life. Because to me, it's all about living a balanced life. It's not necessarily that we go all in on our saviors or all in on our demons, or do, like, say I'm opposite to someone. I don't expect someone to do opposite just to suit what my beliefs are like. But what I do want from them and from myself is to balance them, so that we're not, as Joyce was saying, getting tidal waves in our life where we go all in on one psychological aspect, like extroversion, and we don't really know ourselves in the end, or introversion, and we don't have any idea what the spectrum of mankind wants or is useful to them, or even how to interact with them in some cases. And so just balancing that and, like, communicating, how do we, and I don't think you necessarily even need to know deeply about personality theory to know how to balance yourself, because, like, people give objective personality flack for attaching Tony Robbins' human needs to create this personality system. But I think his human needs are so good when you just think of, like, everybody needs certainty, everybody needs variety, everybody needs connection, everybody needs significance. Like, if you're balancing those 4 things in your life, it doesn't really matter, like, what functions you have or, like, what you're doing. Like, you're going to have a much more balanced life. And so I think also using the human needs. Yeah.
Well, the reason I say this is because, and Joyce, I'm gonna ask you in like 5 seconds. Shan told me when we went out to Seattle, well, where are they at? Or Portland. She said that no matter what, your demons are always gonna annoy you when you see the other people's using your demons, whatever. So, Joyce, what's your experience with it? Where are you on that road?
Yeah. So I see tidal waves as entitlement waves. So in tidal waves.
Yeah.
And the reason why is, like, we feel entitled that our way is the best way, or our way is the right way. And that never really, like, our initial reaction never really goes away until we reach, I don't know, maybe the pinnacle of development. But normally our initial reactions kind of rule us. And those initial reactions are our saviors. And it's hard to kind of get out of autopilot. And I think to get rid of that response that your saviors have to judging a person right away who is different from you is to be conscious of your autopilot, which is so hard because you can do it for a while, but it's so easy to go back into autopilot. And I realized that you have to have really strong resolve to, like, be aware of everything you do, because your brain likes to simplify things and go, like, make snap decisions, and you accidentally, your brain is being efficient, and what it does is it causes you to double down on your saviors when you really should be more mindful. And so my road on that is that I still kind of judge people who use opposite functions and use my demons too.
Yeah, I do too. But it also shows me, like, it shows me a map, at least, for growth for me. It's like, okay, once I get to a point where I can't wait till I'm at the point where I just accept everybody for how they are, for big time, actually, and it doesn't really trigger me as much. But it does help the recovery process a lot. That gets faster and faster all the time.
Yes.
So,
well, I mean, I want to say that I think that it doesn't take long to get to the point where you accept people. But the problem that I have in accepting people is when I see people who are addicted to what they're doing in life. They could have the opposite functions to me, and it's like whatever, that's fine. But if they're addicted to them, that's what really rubs me the wrong way, when I see someone who's, like, addicted and they think that theirs is the only answer. Like, this is the obvious answer. And we all do it to a degree. So, like, who am I to say? But
yes, right. Yeah.
At the same time, it's annoying to see that in other people. It's kind of like, can we have a communication here?
Yeah.
Something like that.
I think unbalancedness is always, once you kind of have the awareness, it can be a little annoying, right? When you see somebody, like, all in on anything, even my saviors, that's kind of annoying still, because I'm like, dude, you got to respect the sensory at times, right? Like you can't just be totally abstract, right? Like, so that is a little annoying, but on the other end, the more I grow, the less I find that it really triggers me as much. But at least I clean it up. Even if I get triggered within a few seconds, I'm like, oh wait, hold on. I do the exact same thing in my areas. They're just, that's what they're programmed. Of course, that's what they should do. That is their functions, you know? So it does help with that. What about you, babe?
Yeah, I still get really annoyed. But it makes the understanding better because it's like, okay, like you said, if I was that person and it had their functions, I would probably do the same thing. I find it more with like, I don't like selfie people.
She always says that like on air. Gosh.
It's not that I don't like them. I'm just uncomfortable. I know. I'm just uncomfortable. Like
because she can't get the validation from them that she's wanting all the time.
Yeah.
That's what makes her uncomfortable. Oh, they're both self-overdrive.
Yeah. I just not that I don't like selfie people. It's just
verbatim, I don't like
that's why I didn't really mean it that way.
That's all right. You can't offend us.
Yeah.
But tribe.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, I know.
If somebody said that to me, I'd be like,
well, but that is how we all are, right? It's just like the more that just shows a deficit in her growth because the more she acknowledges her self side, then the less that me as a double decider, Joyce is a double decider too. I like both sides because I respect and love the self over tribe side of me, and then I love and respect the tribe over self side of me.
Yeah, see, I hate it when I get selfish. I'm like,
she still sees it as bad in herself, so she sees it as bad in others, right? Do you see what I'm saying? And the more that she grows and realizes it's not bad, then the less that's going to be projected on the real world because it's just a projection; it's not even real, right?
I see it a lot in like
you're cool.
But you're the only
You're the only one. No.
Yeah, right. No, it's I find it interesting to see the other side of the coin, the IP, like how I speak to some IPs and they're like, just do you, bro. Like just do you. Like, and then they might get even aggressive if you talk about like, no, you know what, I want to sacrifice a bit of myself here. I want to help someone else out here. You know, like I'm not so worried about myself. And they might be like, they might even like attack you and be like, no, man, you got to do what's right for you. You got to do what you believe in. You got to do what feels good for you and forget about everybody else. And I'm like, that's just not balanced. Like, sometimes you should do that, but not all the time. It's not balanced.
We have such a blessing though to have this kind of awareness. Cause dude, imagine if you didn't have we didn't know any other stuff. Oh my God, would life be hard, right? It'd be so much harder. You know, like you would just think I would just be getting hit all over the place. Like I don't understand humans. Then I would probably hate humans, you know, on some level.
Being a people person, it makes things a lot easier. I'm like, well, okay, if I'm just going all in on people, it's probably, or like if I see me doing it and then he's not, I'm like, okay, dang it.
Yeah, it helps in our relationship a lot too. Because even if we get mad at each other, sorry, I know we're kind of going back and forth a lot here, but like even if we get upset with each other, a few seconds, really soon we can recover because we're aware that, wait, hold on, it's automatic, it's functions. Even though she's a thinker, her feeling is really double activated, so it's really high at times, and then mine is very low. So we can butt heads on that, where she's like, "You're not respecting my emotions." I was like, "I don't even respect my own emotions." But
then the difference with the thinker is that I always have a lot of people at the end. Like I might be like for a minute, but then like my end result is always
she always comes back to the logic at the end of the day because it's still her savior, which is
like I'll never probably side with my emotions. Once I get
this can be, I don't know if this is a problem or not for you, and I'm interested to hear what Joyce said this afterwards. But I find that I'll do the same thing with feelings, in which like even if I know the logic and I know it's logical, most of the time it'll come back to my feelings, and like part of me is just like, this is just what I feel like, and then the other part of me is like, I'm a slave to my feelings. Like, why am I doing this?
Dude, I feel you for sure.
Like, I don't know. Like, how do you feel, Joyce, about like your save? Do you feel like you always come back and listen to the logical side of yourself, or do you feel like there's more balance there?
I feel like there is a balance as I'm a double decider, but I feel like but I feel like there's also like I'll listen to the logical side. Like I always need reasons. So it's kind of like I don't want to do something purely off of following my heart. So I'm against that. But I notice when people do it. So it shocks me. I'm like, wow, that's so different than me.
I relate to that. Yeah, because I think that as double deciders, we understand you need both. I do care about what I feel, kind of, but I also really care about what's true and what's real and what's reality. You know, your emotions are just subjective experiences to me, so that you can get in a lot of trouble just going for emotions, right? So both are important. I try to find a way for them both to be happy, but then when I can't, I always pick thinking.
I always regret my emotions. I don't know if it's because it's the double activated
Yeah,
demon, but I'm always like,
yeah.
ugh. And then I'm like mad at myself for like hours after.
What do you guys think? Is that our flaw because they're a demon to us, so we're not respecting emotions enough? Or do you think that that's actual objective reality, like it is causing you more problems because of your emotions? And of course,
I think it's both, man. I mean, I think it's both to a degree, in the sense that because we're not practicing them, that's why they become our demons. And so if we're not practiced at them, then we're not going to be using them in like a really efficient way. Because I feel that way about my logic. Like logically, I know doing something for a logical reason works better most times than doing something for a value reason. But I just don't trust my logic. Like I don't actually have much faith that I'm seeing like good logic in things. Like I'll be like logically, and then I'll look back at it later. I'm like, that wasn't logic. That was just values under the guise of logic. Like, I wasn't even logicking. And so like it's great to surround yourself with people who do sort of have your opposite functions in a way. And like not to rely on them as a crutch, but to see how they operate and to see another way and to have kind of like some guidance in how you're operating in your life.
That'd be hard for you guys as single deciders. Actually, now I think about it, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, because I feel that way with my feeling all the time. I'm like, dang it.
Don't trust them.
I don't. I'm like, because it changed, you know what I mean? And then I always end with the logic. So I'm like, this isn't right, this isn't right, this isn't right. And then I come to the logic.
Yeah, I want more objective truth on that to see.
But you two are lead NI. Like, do you not trust sensory? Like,
no,
feminine or masculine?
NI is my lowest.
That's her lowest function.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's messy. Yeah. She's
sorry.
Oh, my NI is terrible.
I meant, but I meant like Josh and Joyce. I'm just curious because we're talking about being single deciders, but Josh and Joyce as single observers, you have sensory as your last function. So I'm just kind of curious, like if you don't trust the sensory.
Well, mine is, I don't know if this matters, but it's double activated. So my N and S are actually pretty close in that sense. So to me, I have to have both. Like I have to, so I would say.
He respects sensory like I respect my emotions. It's like, it's definitely there.
Yeah.
And he like over respects the sensory. I don't know if it's because it's a demon.
Yeah, I respect sensory a lot.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, I pay attention to it a lot because I've learned so many times in my life how important it is, I think. And so to me, sensory is more important than intuition. But who knows what I'm actually doing in reality? I could be totally respecting.
I think you're better at intuition, but you respect the sensory.
Yeah,
more
I agree. Yeah.
Than your intuition.
Yeah, to me, I don't feel comfortable setting on an observation without my sensory being very, very good. But yeah, okay, to answer your question now that I'm processing out loud, I do have a little doubt at first, but then I keep going until I get that. So I keep getting more sensory, because you can keep getting more sensory information until I land. So I just spend a little bit more time there to feel confident.
Right, so you do respect it, but you might not trust it immediately, so you go looking. What about you, Joyce? Like, well, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, so I kind of see like the function that you do prefer and the functions you don't prefer. So your saviors and demons as like the court of law. So you have the Supreme Court and you have like the multiple levels of court, right? And basically the higher levels get to decide what gets the say. And so you might have feelings and you might have thinking, but like what's your saviors is like the Supreme Court or like the highest court, and then it gets to rule over every other court. And so the problem with our saviors is that we choose them above all else at the end. And so your question was like, what was your question again? Sorry.
Well, my thing was like, because with me and Alex as single deciders, like I don't trust my logic necessarily. Like I'll still try to use it. And I'll try to get feedback from other people to actually make sure it's useful. And Alex was saying that like she doesn't usually feel good about making decisions based on her feelings.
So do you trust your intuition, or do you trust your sensory right away, or do you not have confidence and faith in it?
I do trust my sensory because I kind of see it as like I very easily can go off the deep end. So I'm aware of that. So I have to go, like I have to ground myself in the sensory because I know that's so easy for me to go off the non side. And I don't want to become like a monster. So And for my feelings, it's like I have a slight obliviousness to them. So I don't always know what I'm feeling until it hits me as like an after effect.
Yeah, ditto.
Oh, that's interesting.
I noticed this about, well, this is common sense, I guess, to those that know functions. But for me, it's like emotions really don't hit me till later. Like, for example, like I was on a phone call with someone and then like, you know, like sometimes I'll be on a call with someone and then they'll trigger me a little bit. But in the moment, I'm not emotionally responding at all. And then like 20 minutes later, I'm like, you know what? F them.
Yeah, he was like,
you know what I'm
so
saying?
frustrated.
Yeah, like, yeah.
Think
It's
about
like,
it. Wait a second.
Yeah, that's how it hits. Yeah, it's like maybe an hour later.
But it's funny because I can tell, because like I was walking around doing something when he was on this call.
Yes.
And I could tell that he was getting like triggered.
Yes, but I can't. So I'm just completely unaware.
Yeah.
And then they really, my consciousness catches up like an hour later.
Yeah.
And then I realized for me, processing emotions takes a lot of time, but processing logic is instant. So that's easy. But it's like,
yeah, but you're still the double decider there. Like when I see this within myself.
Uh-oh. Did he freeze for you too, Joyce?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I
you froze for a sec, Julian. Oh, you're still froze. His face is.
What we're gonna use for the thumbnail.
Yeah. Oh, that's perfect.
That is perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Am I back yet?
Yeah, I can hear you all.
I can hear y'all fine, but that's great.
Okay, it sounded like you were onto something good, Julian. You're still lagging a little bit, but I think he's recovering. So
I feel heartbroken by my Wi-Fi, to be honest.
I know.
I feel betrayed by my Wi-Fi. But
now you're back.
I get it.
Okay, can you repeat that again?
Yeah, no, for sure. I was just saying that I get in trouble for my feelings too much because I'm ultra aware of them, and when they hit me, like I feel like I have to acknowledge them completely. But sometimes they're just kind of not based in any sort of reality or they have no foundation to them. So like a feeling might hit me suddenly.
Dude, it's my double activated F too, because I'm so logic-y. I'm just like, wow.
It's masculine
but
and a demon.
I can't get to the logic until I get through my feelings.
Double activated masculine demon. So when it comes at you, there's all this fear and terror with it. It's just freaking intense, man. Oh my God. It's just like, and it's masculine aggressive.
Dude, and I can't not
I know.
I'm just like,
oh my God.
Hear
I'm like,
me
can
roar.
we calm it down a little bit? And
hear me roar.
Dude, well, because technically with my activations, my FI is my lowest function. It's my weakest, even though like, you know, I'm a double decider. So we're on opposite ends of that, because to me, her T is way more powerful than her F when it's there. I mean, her F is way more powerful than her T when it's there.
Yeah.
It's like, what thinking? What logic? It's just like there is none. So it's up here, and then mine's is down here, just calm and like just trying to like logically think everything through and relaxed. And then it's just really intense, man. Yeah, it's kind of scary. Jeez.
Yeah, I can see that being quite scary.
because you just don't even understand it either. It just doesn't even make sense.
And then I'll just like, and then I just don't respect it at all. So I'm just like disrespecting myself and everybody else.
I know. And logic, like she's like F logic. I don't want solutions. I want to be angry and cry. And
no, I want solutions. I just can't even get there until I get through my emotions first.
Which I'm learning that.
That is fair, because like you create more tidal waves, I think, than you solve if you shove your emotions aside, because emotions can't leave unless they're acknowledged. Like an emotion is like, unless you get to the origin of where that emotion came from, you're not going to resolve the why that emotion came up in the first place. It's just going to sit underneath your subconscious, and the next time it comes back, man, it'll be even worse, like for sure. And so you need to get to the bottom of that.
Joyce, do you have emotional tidal waves?
So the thing is, like, I experience emotion in two ways. Like, one way is I notice other people's emotions easy, but I don't know my own. So I have issues with self-identifying my own emotions. And so that's my tidal wave. It's like, I don't know how I feel about other people. And so it's like, even on my YouTube channel, I'll have friends texting me like, you really like this guest, or you really hate this guest. And I'm like, Really? I didn't know that.
I can relate to that.
Oh, that's crazy.
I can relate to that as a thinker.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Like, for example, when she was just saying, like, I was on the phone and then I was upset and then I was like, was I? And then later I'm like, yeah, I'm pissed about that. You know?
You know what? Yeah.
You know what? I am mad.
You know what? I'm gonna call them back right now. You know that good conversation you thought we had? Well, guess what? I didn't like it. And I don't like you that much.
Yeah, and I don't like you.
Oh, that's so funny.
See you later.
F you.
Oh, that felt good. I feel better. I acknowledge my emotions. Good. It's weird also to try to deal with emotions after the fact too, because it's so late. The moment's passed so long. You know, it's like now you're bringing up stuff when the vibe's all good. It's
I hate that because I'm like, let's just talk about it and get through it. I don't want to come back to it.
Yeah.
And
I'm like not ready.
2 hours later, he's like, so by the way, I'm like,
yeah, because they hasn't even hit me yet. Now it finally hit me.
Yeah.
You know,
and then I'm processed through my emotions. I'm in logic land, and then he's in emotion land, and then we're in the opposite. So it's like whenever I'm in emotion land, he's in logic land, and whenever I'm in
so you're
logic
talking
land,
past each other.
Yeah, we message. Yes.
Yes.
Oh my God, good point, babe.
Yeah.
That's when we get so frustrated.
Yeah, because then when he's trying to get his emotions, I'm like, you don't have a reason to feel like this, which is exactly what he does to me when I'm in my emotions.
And then I'm like, I don't need a reason. I just want to feel. Let me feel.
It's funny.
Yeah, because it's finally
I just realized that though.
Yeah, great.
We're always on the opposite.
Because when we both have masculine feelings, so when it finally comes out, it's just it's out. Like yes, and it feels good.
Yeah.
You know, because if I can just scream and be the meanest person in the world to her, like for about like 20 seconds, like once a week, I'm good. No more
and then
tidal
I'm
waves.
like,
no more tidal
And I'm a
waves.
people person, so I'm like, I'm a terrible person.
I just need to get it out sometimes. Like once it gets out, I feel so happy after that tidal wave over. I just need to explode, blow up, then I'm good. You know.
Yeah.
You know?
I go through like an up and down in that case. Like explode, feel horrible for exploding, but then feel for having done it.
Yeah. Especially with being autistic, on the spectrum of autism, and so it's like. In the moment, people's emotions are pretty much impossible for me to see. I can't see them, yes, and it based on functions, right? So I guess like being on the spectrum of autism is just like my functions for the most part, right? But it's like I can't see other people's emotions in the moment, so it takes me time to process them.
Yeah.
Pastor Personality,
hello,
what's up, brother?
Personality.
Pastor P in the house.
What's up, bro?
You know that masculine.
Yeah, he knows. Yeah, so it's like I can't understand people what they want from me emotionally in the moment, which is so hard for me because I'm not FE. So Joyce, I'm curious to your perspective because even though it's a demon, you still have FE. So do you know what people want from you in the moments, emotionally?
For me, I'm one of those double deciders where I feel like my FE and TI are at the same strength level, but I just have slightly more towards the TI. And so I do notice other people's emotions and I do react to them. But sometimes like noticing their emotions can make me feel so spread apart as a person. Like I can feel kind of fragmented because I'm noticing their values that I want to adopt their values and then I don't know what my values are because I'm adopting their values.
That almost feels like tribal herself.
Yeah.
All the time.
Oh man, it's so interesting how we come to similar conclusions from different directions. Like for me, I know what my values are, but I'll do the same thing that Joyce does, like feel really kind of like strange and scattered when it comes to reading other people's emotions. Not because I don't know what like my values are and I'm reading too much into their values, but because I'm like afraid of the tribe and I don't want to disturb the harmony of the tribe. And so like I will feel really weird and scattered about not appreciating my values, but also like trying to see their values and trying to accommodate their values.
Yeah,
and
I see that in that
divide.
Yes, man. Because for me, I don't mind disturbing the tribe stuff. Because I think the tribe is my savior. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's like I'm not afraid. I know I can always make it better whenever I want. So it's not I'm not afraid of that. You know, I actually kind of like the chaos of stepping on
Dude,
people's
and
toes.
especially with that masculine F, I'm like, you're not gonna step on that. I will kill you.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
See my knife.
I don't care if you're tribe. I will like murder you.
So
if
she
I'm
comes from
masculine.
that side angle, but then it's a swing and
Yeah.
it's not balanced.
And then I
It's
feel
just-
terrible.
Yeah, and then it swings back this way.
Relatable.
It's
Yeah.
not balanced, right? Where I see as a double decider, it's like we just go in a little bit, then we
Yeah.
can come right back really quick.
Oh,
We can
go
shift
all
gears
in.
really quick. I think Dave used that analogy. It's like we can go back and forth really fast. It's like, okay, sorry about that. It's this. Oh, okay, this. And then it's hard us learning each other's language because like she doesn't shift gears like that. Do you see what I'm saying? Like she's stuck here. And then like forever, it feels to me. And it's like, can we finally get to this gear? No? Okay, we'll just stay here forever, you know? And so I don't know, that might be very abstract. You know, I know that's not very...
No, I get that, man. I get that. Like the shifting gears analogy really resonates with me when you're moving from like one function to another. And that's kind of like how I feel between my FI or like, no, actually like my sleep and my play. If we're going to get into objective personality terminology, like, but this is where I see the analogy coming the most across is like the difference between preserving my energy and doing and controlling my things for myself versus expanding my energy and like expressing my energy with the tribe for chaotic reasons. And shifting from that sleep to that play gear feels like I can't just shift from one gear to the next. Like if you just throw me into a party or whatever, I'll be like just like stone faced there, just kind of like,
oh right,
oh god, what's going on here? Like I can't, and then like I would have to warm myself up really slowly to get into that gear.
You're coming from the bottom with the play.
Yeah,
this can do that. She can go straight from being like pissed off to like, hey guys, what's up? You know, and I'm just like, what the F is going on? But she can do that, and I think because her play is her lead. Are you lead play? Yeah, she's lead play, right? So I think that actually would make sense because we kind of move with the wind, both being savior play. We move where the tribe is. Where you, as a demon, it sounds like you have to just dig all the way from the bottom to kind of pull it all the way up here to use it.
Yeah. And then I actually get in a good mood. Like when I start playing,
then
too. It's not fake.
Me too.
So it does start out a little fake, but
Same.
then once the play keeps going, I'm like, cool, I'm feeling good again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lisa, is that? Oh, that's a cool way. If your name's Lisa, sorry if we butchered your name, but I like how it's spelled. If it is Lisa, that's dope. She said Joyce is so good at picking it all up and accommodating.
I'm jealous of Effie for that reason. I wish I was better at Effie.
Me too.
Because I suck at it so bad.
Yeah, well, especially when someone needs emotional validation. Lisa, can you tell us if your name's spelled, if it actually is Lisa? But yeah, so she needs a lot of that emotional validation. She wants a space for her emotions. I am so not the best person for that. I'm like, sorry, you know, it's like, and because being on the spectrum too is like, I can't even get there. I don't even know my own emotions. How the heck am I going to know someone else's? I literally don't know what all the emotions that I'm feeling are most of the time. Yeah. I don't even know. I was like, am I upset? Am I mad? Am I this? It's weird.
Yeah. And then I think I know what other people are feeling. And I'm like,
yeah.
Wait, can we agree? Is it true that FE is more emotionally expressive than FI? Is that a thing? I feel like it might be a thing.
I would think so, but I don't know. What do you think, Joyce? Yeah.
I think generally, yeah, like FE is okay with, so like official MBTI, what they talk about is like FE is like a raw cookie. It's like a cookie that's not fully baked. So FE will show you it's like in the process state of its
emotion. Got it.
FI, when it shows it, it is fully baked. So you'll have a full cookie that has been baked inside the FI user. But the FE user will give you the dough, the raw dough, and then give you it while it's being baked, and then like give you it. Yeah.
Okay, so is there a correlation? Because I do that with logic, especially being lead blast for those who know OP2.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah,
so
yeah,
and so this is what's so interesting is like I'm always processing out loud, right? And so she'll get upset because I say two conflicting things because
I'm like, what?
I'm just trying to process. I don't know which one is real. I got to throw them both out there and use my intuition.
And I'm like, how do you not know what you're trying to say? Like, if I say something, I know.
Because it's at the very bottom. She goes through all her functions first,
yeah.
right? And then mine's at the very top.
True.
I have no idea.
And then he's like literally saying like this and then this. And he's like, I think this. And I'm like, but you started with this.
Yes. And I'm like, dude, I processed it. You know?
Started with this.
I was like, never take anything I say.
Josh.
I know. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm like, don't believe me. Don't say anything. Nothing I say is don't take it solid until like I'm saying.
I'm just cornfused.
Yeah.
I feel it, and then I don't want to express certain things if I know people are gonna like bring it up later. Like, well, you said that you would do it, and I'm like, I wasn't serious.
Lissa.
Like, we're just figuring it out.
That is so funny.
Oh,
Okay.
Lissa.
Yeah, Melissa without the
Okay.
Lissa, I like that too. That's cool. I like your name. That's dope. Hey, maybe
Lissa,
a daughter. If we have a daughter, we can name her that. That's that.
Yeah,
good.
she's in the objective personality community. She's
okay. Lissa,
posts
add
around,
us
got some good
on
posts.
Josh McCrae. Oh, Joshua McCrae and Alex Rogers. Yeah. Yeah, cool. That's very interesting, though.
Yeah.
Okay, but one other quick question about that, Joyce, because I realized my logic is usually pretty processed, I think, for the most part, but it's more my emotions that I'm back and forth with and values. What do you think?
Kind of. I'd say your logic is more processed than your emotions, but sometimes your logic. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm curious. So because I'm just external processor. It's like I can't think until I talk, right? And I need someone to play off.
And I can't talk until I think.
Yeah. Right. So
do you have an internal?
Right.
Yep. Can I just ask everybody here? Do you have internal dialogues? Like Josh, do you have an internal dialogue?
I do.
Yes, I do. But it's like I'm talking third person. It's not like I'm me. I'm like talking.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Weird.
Oh, that's not normal.
And then Josh picked up the knife and cut the man.
It's like I have a motivation.
Yes, voice.
In my head.
I listen to the voice.
What is Josh going to do?
I listen to my master.
Now when he's like being quiet, I'm gonna be like,
to his left.
Oh boy.
I don't know whether that was so funny, but I did.
It's more like a motivational speaker in my head, right? It's like it's a lot of that.
You the man.
I was like, you're Josh MC. You can't like take the short route. Oh, you got this cold shower. You could do your Josh MC. I say a lot of that.
I like it.
That helps me have compassion for myself too, because I'm talking to myself from the outside as opposed to who I am, and so it's a way for me to motivate myself. Also have compassion for myself. I'm pretty weird.
Man, you Josh MC. You don't have to abide the laws. Rob that bank.
Yeah, you rob that bank. I do talk like that to myself.
He does. He does that loud sometimes.
So, but then I
love that though.
Her like that, because then I'll be like double deciding. This is a big issue we have, guys. If you guys want to know the toughest part in our relationship is I'll be talking to her like I talk to myself. I have pretty much David Goggins in my head talking, or someone who's always pushing hard, right? And that works for me. It's not a personal thing. It's like, okay, like I'll do my best. If I fail, it's okay. You can get back up and you keep going, baby. Whatever. But for her, it's like she gets really shut down because she's people person, right? So it's like people are the story. So then she gets really discouraged. Hey, thanks, Lissa. Yeah, that's great. But so from and
then I'm just convincing him that I'm not a bad person. I'm like,
I know, and I'm like, dude, I don't think you're bad. I think your communication is bad. It's not personal.
See, even she goes.
No, it's usually, in all fairness, it's usually our communication is bad. But relationships, the hardest part is communication. Period. Even if we both speak TE. Right, as a savior, which is so easy when we're not emotional. But when those emotions come in, we're both freaking clueless. It's just really hard.
I hate emotions.
And one thing about that, Lissa, is that strategy is it keeps you from. I think it would work for a single decider. Right, because now it's not personal, and it's like you can motivate, you can talk, you can inspire, you can do all those things without. Do you know what I'm trying to say? It's like it's not you talking bad about yourself, right? It's just somebody else's. It feels like two people's inside of me. I don't know. That makes any sense. Everybody's like, what's
I get that. I get that.
Yeah.
Kind of like two perspectives, right? You're kind of like, I get that too, where like I have the impulsive perspective, and then there's like the devil's advocate perspective, where it's just kind of like, man, fuck this.
Do you guys think that's the T and F? Because, for example, a strategy I use when I journal is I write out all the emotions without judgment. So the emotions are in words of like, I don't like this person's stupid, blah, blah, blah. But I know, but it's not logical. It's not what I think. So I know they're two separate people. It's just what I feel, the words of emotion, but it's not what I think. So I don't judge the words I write. I can write anything crazy. I can be like, I want to kill this person, whatever. That's fine. But then then after I get out the words of emotion, then I get the logical side of me. I pull that and then I start journaling from a balanced perspective. And so I'm curious do you guys think that there's two voices in your head? Is the first question. And the follow-up is, do you think it's the thinking filler always talking back and forth to each other, trying to dialogue?
I have a hard time distinguishing that. Like, it's hard for me to be like,
yes,
not
that's
even
right,
judge
Alyssa.
myself when I say emotional things.
She said it's like giving yourself the coach you need without needing an actual person. Yeah. And they can be, and to me, they have way higher standards than me, right? And so it's like they keep me living at a higher the ghost inside my head keeps me living at a higher standard.
Guys, I'm afraid to go to sleep tonight.
I didn't do it. Other Josh did it.
My head told me that.
That was the voice.
And punch you in the stomach. That wasn't me, babe. I'm sorry. I love you. Yeah, but it does help in that sense though, because it really, for me, it keeps me, maybe because I'm tribe over self too, by the way. Because if I hear the tribe saying, I picture it being someone in the tribe that's like, dude, you're Josh MC, you can do this. And so it keeps me at a way higher level. I stand it for myself. Works for me.
Interesting.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's a tribe over self strategy, because I'll listen to the tribe to inspire me as opposed to self over tribe. You guys can listen to yourselves to inspire you. But I don't get that inspired with talking. That's it. Okay, I think I'm processing out loud as we go, of course. But to me, I think that's what it is, because I'll naturally push harder for others than I will for myself. It's hard to motivate yourself on things. Do you feel that way? She's super tribe over self, because she's an EJ.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Because I'll do more for others than I'll do for myself at times. To keep me accountable, to keep me consistent, right? I need a lot of appointments throughout my day, because if not, then I can just see myself sitting around all day. You know, things like that. Yeah. So that's why I use that other voice as like my motivational speaker. I got Tony Robbins in here.
I don't have other voices in here.
You might want to get one. You know, it's a good friend to have. You know?
You might want to collect some more voices. There's some good ones.
Yeah, get up in that. You know?
Ask yourself, what would Tony Robbins do? WW
TD. What would Tony do?
Yeah. TRD. What would Tony Robbins do?
TRD.
Probably take a cold bath.
He'd probably take a cold shower right now, ice bath right now. It's like, I feel no emotions. Brain does what I say it does. Tony had a whole new
Inject some stem cells into his spine.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's doing that twice a day. Easy, you know.
Oh, dude. Because my goal in life is to impact more lives than Tony Robbins. And to do that, I have to be willing to do all the things he does. And that's why I do some of the things. Dude, but Tony plays at a way higher level than I can drive it myself. So I wonder how he pushes on himself so hard on his FI when his is at the very bottom and it's feminine. I have no idea how he pushes on himself that hard. He does like the super cold things every day, like dives in a cold pool and all that.
Maybe it's the expectations of the tribe. I mean, like, I'm sure if he's been around that long, it might not be true, but if he's been around that long, then like even me, like even when I know people have expectations for me to perform in a certain way, like I am way less likely to betray those expectations just because.
Totally.
Also, try it out for you too. Yeah, so it helps inspire you too. Okay.
And Lisa, I agree.
She said, I can see it being a good for a single-decider, but harder for them. Oh, yes. Great freaking point. Because remember Dave and Shannon were saying that they don't see double deciders doing the meme. What are those meme things where they're doing, what are they called? Where they're doing two different perspectives. It's like, okay, I'm the mom saying this. And then the other one's like, no, son, don't do that. You know what I'm saying?
Those are hilarious. I don't know what you're talking. I don't know what you'd call them, but those are hilarious. I love those videos.
Okay, yeah. So they said they've never seen a single decider do that well because they can't ping back on the self and tried that easy. Where they say it's always a double decider that does those good, which is interesting. So if that is true, then what Lissa's saying actually does make a lot of sense.
Because when I'm able to do it, it's amazing. And it's like life changing, but I'm just not able to do it without like going
I don't do the same thing.
I'm all in on myself and
like
being
this,
like, the worst.
Yeah, I see that.
Or they're the worst.
Yeah, that's right. That is a weird thing in a relationship with the single decider, double decider. That's where a lot of confusion comes in. But it's so many minutes. We cover all the bases. Oh, sorry guys, that's our dog.
Our dog is like
what?
Toy back and forth.
Do you know what I see my internal voice says if we're talking about like multiple characters? I wouldn't say mine as multiple characters, but more like the 7-headed Hydra or something, in which it's one body, but like there can be different voices where it's just like really like really negative and be like, oh, this is bullshit, like this person, and I'm like, and then like the other head's like, wait a second, like this, we're not, let's not get too serious here, and then like another head's like, what's the bright? So like,
I think it used to be like that, but then I gave them more space because I didn't want to associate as much with it. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So to me, it kind of evolved in more separate. So now it's like whatever he thinks, I'm not responsible for. You know?
Like, I killed her. It's fine.
Whatever he thinks. I love Josh is like laughing. He's laughing as he says it. Whatever he thinks, I'm not responsible for it.
Yeah, I know. That's kind of how, but because if it feels like me, then I'm not going to motivate me. Do you see what I'm saying? I don't know how to explain it. It's just a weird tactic for me. Yeah. Huh. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I think we got a little bit longer. So first off, anyone who's watching, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to jump in and we will gladly answer it. And Joyce, did you have any insights on anything that we were saying that you didn't get a chance to say, since we kind of been blasting away over here?
It's tough.
Yeah, like when you said your TE needs to like talk it out with people, I think like FE has the same thing where it needs to talk out its emotions with people to understand them. Like they have to do it, and that's why like FE is known for expressing its emotions, because it's almost like I cannot fully process it without seeing it with other people, and so that's like the con of FE. But I think you can make the argument that some FI users do express their emotion, but when they do, it's more actually fully baked already. So it's been processed to a certain extent. So, and something that gets confused for FE, but it's not FE. So people with high play, sometimes because they're double extroverted, they can seem like they're expressing emotion out because it's just so charismatic, because play first people are just so charismatic. It can, like, people can confuse it for FE when it's not.
That's what I typed. I think did I type it as FE?
I don't remember.
Okay. I typed it as a feeler, I know though.
Yeah, and that happens. Like play first people seem very feelery because of that play first, but not because it's FE. But I can see why it could be confused.
Yeah, because I feel when you were saying that about your emotions, like I feel the same way. I'm like, I cannot process my emotions here. Like I have to talk to people to process my emotions.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Lissa.
This is part why I thought I was FE. Okay, what's your type, Lissa? So your lead play, it sounds. Yeah, so what's your type? And then she said before that, that was the last one. Okay. Yeah. So my question for you, Joyce, is do you feel so one, I'm realizing why I process both last, and because I'm lead blast and I'm also missing sleep. So it's my thinking and feeling are going to get processed externally on some level. Yeah. That makes more sense. But my question for you is, do you feel that, like for me, when I process my FI, it makes, how can I explain this? Do you feel like it gives you more clarity to your TI at all when you get your FE processed?
What does it mean to process your FE? Like, isn't processing your FE like processing everyone's values? I feel
I know, that's what I was just thinking. I was like, wait, how does that work?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you think about it with the analogy of the cookie and the cookie dough, if we're thinking like FE is the cookie dough and FI is like the final product or whatever, then we're talking about FE and TE are expressing kind of half-baked ideas in a sense, because they're working out some kind of final product with the tribe as well, sort of validation even. And and so like if you're working out your FE with the tribe, sharing that with the tribe and kind of like pinging off the tribe FE, does that contribute to your TI at all?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering, because I don't see it contributing, but I'm wondering if it does connect, and if so, how.
It makes me more flexible. So my TI has its own like conclusions. So when I'm able to incorporate the spectrum, it makes me more able to move with other people. So what going into my FE does is it helps me get into my SE, because then now I feel like I can act on behalf of people's values now that I understand people's values better. So it's easier to leverage the second function to get to the fourth than to go straight to the fourth to improve it.
Okay.
Whoa. Okay. So now I'm trying to think of that for me, because SE is not
me too.
confused, but so that would mean my FI. Okay, I'm confused already. But yeah, that's good. I'm gonna have to think that through with my processing's, you know, my lowest function. So it takes me a second to process things like that. But that's really cool. I want to reverse the math on myself.
Yeah.
Oh, listen, you're a double feminine ESFP. That's one of my favorite types. Dope.
Wow.
So
yeah, me too.
Oh, that's a dope type.
Oh, you're missing glass too. Missing glass.
You're close to Versavia.
Yeah.
Versavia is a double masculine. Is she the same type as Versavia? Yeah, just double masculine.
No, Versavia is consume, sleep, blast. So play loud.
Oh yeah, okay.
Oh,
yeah. You guys are really close
consume,
though.
sleep, blast. Oh, so just top two.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Can I ask Joyce about her book? I'm actually really genuinely curious, because Joyce told me a while back that she was writing a book, and I'm just wondering what the book is about.
Yeah.
Generally.
Yeah. So I'm writing 2 books. So I realized one's going to be released next year. So I'm creating like my own spin on type. And so it's going to be like a slight modification to, so I like to learn about all models, but I like to like bring it down to like, what is this? How does this all make sense together? And so I'm going to like make a book to have a simple type of my view on type, you know, after consuming from every place, like what are my thoughts on it? And I'm going to put it into one place. But I realized that that's taking a long time. So it's probably going to be released next year. But this year, I'm planning to hopefully release a book on the 16 types. And so I'm just going to write basic profiles on each of the types. And that's my first journey. Mm-hmm.
So I'm quite curious to all you guys. Did you guys all feel overwhelmed when she said that first thing about what she's going to do with the book or whatever? Because I was just thinking that's TI. She's like, I'm taking models. And to me, it's like TE. It's like, I don't want to narrow down the T like that.
I probably would agree with you, Josh, but I've talked to Joyce before about kind of like her whole idea of typology and what she's exploring and trying to find like the universal type of truths in the universe, whatever. Like she's looking for universal truths, she told me at some point. And so to me, it would make sense that she's trying to take from all these different typology backgrounds and distill them into like this.
Yeah.
It's true. It's very NITI, to be honest. Like she's condensing.
When I was going to say, plus you two are double observers.
Yeah.
So you guys can handle.
And my consume.
That freaks me out with the things.
My consume's really high too. So.
Yeah. Oh, okay. And I'm being.
Yeah, we're both sacred consume and double observers. So I guess that makes.
Like that sounds freaking terrible. Oh, that sounded really bad.
I don't know if others like observers, like maybe this is a sleep first thing. Like I don't know, something with my type, but. When I'm listening to someone, I might actually ignore a lot of what they say and just pick on like 5 words.
Me
that
too.
They said.
I do that too.
Isn't that like intuitives? Wouldn't that be intuitives? Because you're trying to get the concept. She said, by the way, Lisa said, "Yay, Joyce! Can't wait to buy the book."
Oh yeah, we all gonna buy that book.
Oh yeah, we're gonna be buying it. I'll buy
the gang. I'll buy 3. What you got?
Yeah, I'll buy 2. I'll buy 4.
Well, we'll buy
10.
Don't make me buy 10, son.
I already bought 10. I'm broke. I'm about to go bankrupt after this. I'll buy way more. I've ruined myself. Damn you, Joyce. Damn you.
What are you saying, Joyce?
Yeah, you can buy them and you can use them. Like my any user friends would be like, you can use it for like a frisbee or something.
Yeah, I know, right?
Like fireplace, you know?
Yeah, right. Balance this coffee table, you know.
Coffee table book about coffee tables.
wood instead of
my gosh.
start a fire. Yeah, no, that's cool. Okay, all right, guys. Anything else with that you guys want to chat about?
I got so much, but we probably shouldn't.
We can go. I mean, we got a little 4 minutes. If you guys want to keep going a little bit more on anything.
I don't even know. I was bluffing, actually.
Julian.
You've
been hanging around this guy too long.
Yeah. When we're training people at the gym, I'm always like, all right, man, just 7 more reps. That's it. Just 7 more. And then as soon as they hit 7, I'm like, 14 more. You
like
keep
literally,
going.
right? We were training a guy, and Josh was like, do 50 and you won't have to hold. And then right as he gets to 50, he's like, hold 30 seconds. I'm like, you make that liar.
I've seen that. I've seen personal trainers do that. I'm like, that's good, man. I would show if you do that to me, but that's good. That's really good.
Because I know he has more in him. Yeah. He hit it all easy. I was like, we can't just stop there. That makes no sense.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I did like 50 more reps. I'm like, you're
he
a big
probably did
liar.
like 200.
Yeah.
We be going hard on the gym. We ordered some sushi that we're excited to eat. We got some. If you guys have you don't have Hoppa sushis probably anywhere. I think they're only in Colorado.
I think they're Colorado.
So good, guys. If you ever come to Colorado,
Julian,
you
will
be
here.
Dude, we're going to Hoppa the first day you get here.
I'm coming on a plane.
Wait, man.
We can't wait.
See you, Alyssa. Thanks so much for tuning in. And we enjoyed your comments and you being part of the show with us. That
kind
was
of rap.
Yeah.
Rap it out. Same pastor personality. Get my back.
It's been a privilege to have Joyce on. I feel she gave a lot of really valuable lessons, I think, like personally for myself.
Too. Oh yeah, that the first concept you came out the gate with was one that I'm going to keep using. I'm masculine concepts.
The getting the typing with people instead of trying to get your happiness.
Yeah, no, using it to give them what they actually want.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to keep in the back of my mind.
Yum. Right? Sushi.
Yeah, that's right.
That's a good concept. I don't know why my brain works like this, but I always have like this devil advocates, like take it to the extreme, make it bad type of mentality where I think like, oh yeah, you treat somebody how they want to be treated. Like what if they're like a Donald Trump or something, it's just like, are we going to treat him like he wants to be treated? Like, no, fuck that.
That is so funny.
Hey, wait, Alyssa, you said, do you have Hoppa there? You said you have hot here. I'm thinking you went.
Hoppa.
Oh, do you have Hoppa there? If so, that's freaking awesome. Hoppa is so good.
Hoppa.
All right, yeah, just curious. That was our first date.
Yeah.
And we eat it probably 4 to 5 times a week. What do you think? 4 times a week?
3 to 4.
4 times a week.
Dang.
We spent so much money on sushi, it's ridiculous. It was like, if we didn't eat sushi, we'd have so much more money. Oh my God.
The sushi budget for the month.
Put it all in stocks, we'd be freaking
we would
rich
have
in
so much
freaking 2 years probably.
We're gonna have to get a 3rd job just to support our sushi habits.
Put it on credit, babe. Yeah, I mean, it's we can spend money on sushi. We spend a lot on it, but it's delicious and nutritious.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, this is so good meeting you, Joyce. Like, you have such a cool personality. Like, I love your energy. So,
Blast play energy.
Yeah, good. Yeah, blast played like.
Those little aliens that we watch on the alien shows.
So we love this is a cool dynamic actually, all of our types, because we all have like a pretty cool balance together. All 4 of us together, our types go good together. We all speak the same functions, but they're all just in different orders.
Well, not really. Joyce has different functions than we do, but there's still some overlap and similarities of like NI and thinking. I'm fascinated by FE. Is like, to me, it's the most.
I want FE, so teach me your way.
Yeah. I say that too.
Because I want to like really.
I want to validate people's emotions because I want my emotions validated so bad, but we're both the worst
at it. So I'm
just like F your emotions.
Especially it's like I am selfish.
But then all I ever want is for my emotions to be validated. So I'm just like, it's this constant like.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's hard being in a relationship with when nobody's valuing each other's emotions.
Dude, yeah, we're both like, I feel
Validating
emotions. My emotions matter most.
It makes it hard. But other than that, we're killing it. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, our relationship's pretty easy. It's just emotional triggers.
Dave told him, Josh was like, I didn't understand what Dave said, because when we met them, he's like,
yeah,
because Shan and I are type twins, except she's got the feminine and I've got the masculine F.
Yeah.
And he's like, man, that masculine, double activated masculine FI.
He's like, I don't know. I was like, I don't think it's that bad. He's like, shh. He's like, dude, I don't know. I'd rather have that on the outside, like Shan. And I didn't really, I was like, huh. And I just didn't really say anything because I didn't really know what he meant. And back then, me and Alex were probably only like 6 months in, so she didn't show her true colors yet. So
she didn't show her true colors.
Yeah. And then, like a few months later, I was like, I know exactly what you're talking about now. Oh my god! So she has a triple masculine demon inner world. So both demons are masculine, and one's double activated. Jeez.
Yeah. I don't know what that might like. How does that manifest exteriorly?
You want to know what it manifests like exteriorly?
Can I get an example? Can I get a live play?
Yeah. Picture Lucifer himself. It's like Jekyll and Hyde. Okay.
Oh my god.
It's like. Here's the thing with it though. It's like she's masculine intuition and masculine feeling. So it's like I'm confident we're screwed. And I don't care what you say, we're doomed forever for sure. It's like that kind of certainty about negativity. And it's just like,
oh, shoot, man.
And I'm savior intuitive and masculine that we're all good. I'll take care of it. We're fine. It's not that serious. So that's where it's like you get a lot of that. But if her N and F is on something, oh my God, dude, don't even.
But what's interesting? As long as we still have Joyce here, Joyce has the double masculine inner world as saviors. So it's like almost the opposite.
That's why you're so. That's why you come off so okay. Yes, it's kind of like isn't that same for Vasavia? Oh no.
No, she's double masculine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, feminine inner world.
Punch your teeth in.
Yeah, feminine inner world.
Yeah.
Oh, inner world.
Inner world is
okay. Yeah. Okay.
But hers is masculine, but they're saviors.
Yes.
Choices.
Okay, that's interesting because that's what my twin is, right? Yeah, my twin's masculine, FI-NI. Yeah, same thing. Double feminine. Yeah, so very close. Yeah, and I think that they come off more tribey to me. They're like to me, you guys seem more tribey than the other people that aren't so tribey. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Does that make sense with the functions, or is that just a weird pattern I'm thinking?
It could be. I'm thinking two things. So being double feminine.
By the way, she has double masculine inner world.
Girl, I feel you.
She's like, whoop. I'm like,
None of that.
Double masculine
I got triple masculine.
Yeah, that's triple. I got double masculine too, because but one's a savior. That's the difference.
Mine are
They're
both
both fearful demons. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Our relationship could be calming her down, even though I'm high energy as F. Okay, so wrap your head around that. It's crazy town. But anyway, sorry, keep going.
Oh yeah. So I think to answer your question, I forgot what your question was though.
What was the question?
It's because we're like bing, bing,
we're
bing,
all
bing.
feminine sensory. Do you remember the question? You're the masculine sensory here.
We were talking about the difference between the double masculine inner world of
Joyce
compared to Alex. And but you're saying something. You're saying that she comes off more tribey than other types, and you're like, do you get that? Like, does that make sense with the functions flow or whatever? But
or is that just a concept that I haven't processed, or I just think I'm seeing?
Because I don't think John comes off super tribey.
That's what I mean. My twins. That's my twin, and he doesn't come off super.
He comes off very annoyed by the tribey.
Actually, he does. He does more.
Yeah,
but you don't. Right? So I'm curious would that make sense with functions?
That's interesting. That's so cool. Julian, your masculine sensory is so good. That was like
I'm
jealous.
Yeah, and I guess there are a few reasons why I might be more tribey. One is that I'm a female, and females tend.
That is true.
Yeah, I'm a female, so I self-typed before Dave and Shan typed me. I thought I was blast sleep, but I'm blast last.
Oh,
That's hilarious.
If it makes you feel better, I thought I was an ESFP, and I thought for sure. I took like 6 months.
He almost cried.
I took like 6 months typing myself slowly, and I'm a type 7 on the Enneagram, so I was like, yeah, definitely, that's ESFP. And then I'm actually completely upside down. I'm an INTJ. I was like, what? It
was hilarious.
Very tricky.
It wasn't hilarious because
it's fine. Well, everybody sees that too. Like, I wonder in MBTI, classic MBTI, if you would come out as an ESFP, because like everybody's like, you're not an INTJ, you're an ESFP. Like all the comments.
People say that about me too.
Yeah, because she seems like an ESFP too. We both kind of seem like ESFPs because she seems SF to me. To me, she seems like a OP ESFP, really, because her F is way up there. She is sensory, and because her NI is technically her lowest function because she's a glass lizard too. We're both glass lizards. Mm-hmm. So because her NI is her lowest function, she has the EP issues all day. Like, to me, she's way more EP than EJ, but she keeps her EJ issues inside. But I think she's so scared of them, where she's saying her EP issues nonstop. She'll believe in like crazy conspiracy.
I'm
crazy
just like,
I'm just like this. Oh my god, crazy conspiracy things or something, just weird woo-woo stuff. I'm just like, what?
Like essential oils.
Yeah. It's funny. She's demon NF. At first, I thought she was savior NF because she's like, I had the flu or something. She's like, take these oils, smell these oils. I was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna go with some real medicine that's backed by scientists. Not your
Yo, but I'm just gonna say, speaking from an NF perspective, like, I have found it so good if you have like a sinus infection or like plugged nose to get like some. But no, stop. It doesn't stop with the oils. You got to have boiling hot water, and you got to put the oils in the boiling hot water. And then put some fucking towel over your head.
Julian, I am with you.
I'm gonna go with some prescription flu medicine. Thanks for that.
If you want a wild ride, man, put some apple cider vinegar and some boiling water and inhale that. You're gonna hate your life. I'm just saying. It's horrible.
That is not. I think I'm still gonna take some Theraflu instead of doing that.
Put some Tabasco sauce up your nose. Like, trust me, it'll clear you out in no time.
You just all of this apple cider vinegar, just.
I don't want to freeze again on a crazy face.
Joyce, I don't think Joyce finished her thought.
Sorry, we suck, Joyce.
Yeah, because we're all distracted.
It's very enjoyable distraction. It's good. I like it.
Alyssa said, do so much woo-woo stuff, just works.
Thank you.
I find a lot of SFs are close to NFs, by the way. Like similar in their I think I'm seeing that pattern, but that's just what I'm seeing. But we don't
it could be.
Wide most of the time. I agree with that. I'm a trainer where I'm like an all natural trainer for the most part. We don't really use supplements or anything like that. No, and we do like fasting and
like I still have not ate today, guys.
Yeah, we fast all day.
Oh my god.
It's 10 o'clock here.
Yeah.
But yeah, like so I'm all about that too. But I feel like both. I think both intuition and sensory, like both matter. Like I use both a lot, you know.
He does.
Yeah, I find that I'm pretty balanced with both. The stuff that works does work, and I use that. But then the stuff that doesn't.
Oils.
Yeah. I'll still take on some sensory data on that one. Look at this study from Joe Schmo and his 5 buddies. They all said it worked wonders.
You know, my only problem with like a lot of medicine. My only problem with a lot of medicine is I don't know what the hell's in it, and I'm like, I'm taking this like thing, it works, but I don't know what the heck is in it. Like that scares me.
Dude.
Yeah, that's why I know that stuff just because I'm a nutritionist. So I'm always like, I do a lot of ingredient look.
Oh my gosh, really? Yeah.
If you see proprietary blend, then there you go. You already know that has so much hidden BS. Like, just don't even take that.
Proprietary blend.
Yeah, now that's how they legally get away with like just mixing in whatever they want. It's like our secret recipe. Yeah, so you don't even know what the F's in there, which is some crazy stuff's probably in there.
Yeah.
And then another tip is if you are trying to do weight loss products, which they don't even work, so
they
don't
never
waste your time.
There's
but
no weight loss
the reason why you think they will is because if you read the ingredients, most of them have diuretics in them, and so everyone's losing water. They're like, I lost 5 pounds in 3 days,
but
you know, and then
dehydrated.
really it's just water, and then nothing else happens. You never hear them say,
like they
and
always
then I lost
plateau.
20 more pounds. Yeah,
They
you never
always
heard that.
plateau.
Yeah, exactly. That's why they don't work. They just make you feel uncomfortable. So,
or like people that do pre-workouts, they're like, it's working on itching. I'm like, you're allergic.
Nah, probably just a niacin in it. TBH.
Exactly. Yeah. A lot of them will have niacin.
Yeah.
Oh, we just got some more people jump on right at the end, guys.
I know.
Always jumping on too late, right when we're wrapping up shop. Maybe we can move our time to later sometimes, since it seems like a lot of people keep jumping in at the end.
Yeah, it's tricky, but we could probably manage that at some point.
Yeah.
I say it just depends on the guest.
Or we can do a double header where we have guests from 9 to 10 and another from 10 to 11. That'd be pretty dope.
We should have a marathon 24-hour talk and just see how crazy we get by the end
of it. I'm blessed playing. I could do that. Yeah. You're gonna die, Julian, being like missing play.
No, bro, you don't. Man, I get play blast when I'm up all night. Like it's actually weird. Like if I go an all-nighter, the next day I'm play blast. Like it doesn't even make any sense. Like
maybe because you saw your ones and you're left with those. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Like there's no filter. I lose my filter, and my filter is like my sleep process, and so I'm just.
I guess a really quick question for you guys before we wrap up is like I noticed that I feel like I can actually blast play forever. Like I can talk all day forever. So most of our job is like online, and we just have calls like this most of the day. And so I wonder if do you guys notice that with your like lead function, your lead animal? Can you do that? Do you ever burn out from it? Or do you find like you do burn out from it at some point?
That's technically what I do all day. Play, consume. Play and then consume
Yeah.
what you say.
Well, but she has a wick on her play. Her play will die out. It takes a while, but she'll die out.
But with blast, I can listen to you all night long. I've listened to you talk for the past 2.5 years.
She's like, I don't even talk, I just talk. But I think consume requires so much little energy in comparison. Totally. So that's why I'm just curious if there's a correlation or if it's just because I'm a crackhead with my missing sleep and I'm juiced up all the time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I can do my first animal sleep forever.
Oh, you can? Okay.
Yeah.
What about you?
I can too. But like that physically, yes. Mentally, no, because I just feel like, man, I've not done anything today. Like I don't feel satisfied unless I've like produced something or accomplished something. And so sleep doesn't work like that. But otherwise, like, yeah, I could definitely just be in my head. That's why I like, it's like, I don't really get bored and I don't mind being by myself. Sleep.
Yeah. Okay. So for me though, it is a productive function because when I'm doing content or making calls or, you know, it's all going toward my, so I think that, and plus I think the play energy helps too. Maybe I need them both together, but I can go forever on my blast play, like forever. Like I can do it all. I can do my marathon right now and I'll have fun. That'll be fun for me. I'll just, Yeah, she said the second one all the time for sure. Okay, cool. And what was her second function?
Consume sleep.
My first animal is oblivious to me, so probably doing it 24/7.
Oh yes. Great observation. Because that's probably true. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Let me see. Hers was sleep. Oh, okay. So consume. Yeah.
I was definitely oblivious before I got my type back that I was doing sleep processing all day. I didn't understand it, but.
Dude,
it's very evident now.
Yes, I thought I was missing blast.
I'm laughing at myself too, right? I'm laughing at myself.
A lot, yeah. Well, dude, Dave and Shan, they keep telling us this story every time we see them. They're like, yeah, you know, they thought I was an EP because the way I like looked and stuff, you know, because I was bodybuilding and stuff at the time. And then they watched separately, and then they both came in and they're like, all right, what do you think? So not missing blast. like way past like most people. Like I don't even know. I still don't understand it, but they're just saying like, yeah, I know. I guess like now I kind of see it, but like they're saying I blast like on steroids like more than most, I guess.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. You are Tony Robbins. Like I mean the energy level.
Yeah. Like not Tony Robbins.
Not Tony.
That's how they typed. I was like, is Tony Robbins or not Tony? Not Tony.
When they were typing me, The first thing they said was not Tony Robbins.
Yeah, okay. And then I was not Tony Robbins. But they said our energy levels can rival Tony Robbins' energy levels. They said ours can. But I worry about it being like too much sometimes because...
Well, and especially him and I together, if we come across a low energy person, we're like, ah!
We're
and
both,
they're like,
and
they're like, looking back and forth, and I'm like,
we're just like, ah! They're like, ah!
So energy is
She's a lot of energy too. Yeah.
So it's like if we come across someone with low energy, they're literally just like looking from side to side, like what is going on here?
So you better be into whatever we're talking about, or you are going to feel underwhelmed over the you're probably gonna get like mopped up. Yeah. So,
we're a lot.
But if you care about what we're talking about, then maybe it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. But I notice though when I don't blast, I get really happy. So yeah. What you doing, bro?
I just making kissy. I'm making kissy faces.
You know we're live right now, right?
I know. I'm sorry. She's going. She's laughing. She's laughing at me. She's laughing at all this.
This is how you know Julian's DI savior. He's like, I don't care that we're filming.
Yeah.
No
this is what I feel like. I'm gonna do what I feel like right now, baby. That's what I want to do.
It's rough, man. It's
Joyce, do you see me and her energy is similar, or do you see mine is a lot higher?
Yours is higher.
Okay.
Oh,
so
yeah.
you can see it clearly. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, she to me at a party, she's like jumping all around the place, I guess. Would make sense with the play, I guess.
Yeah, yes.
She's loud, but
energy level wise, I would say you, Josh, you're Tony Robbins, and then Alex is more Shannon Renee from Objective Personality.
Okay, yeah. You guys are same. Yeah, you guys same animals. Yeah. So that's actually spot on. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I need to calm it down. I need to calm the Tony in me down a little bit.
Tony?
Anthony?
Anthony? I know, it's so fun to just, but I have to do the other work. If I don't do my processing, I go insane. Like I have to sleep process. I do probably about 2 hours a day of like pure sleep where I just walk. I don't have any consume on. I can't talk to anyone. I'm just processing, and I have like one question sometimes to process. So for me, that gives me the ability to be able to like really use those animals and not get too far to balance. Yeah. So I gotta pay the cost to do that, I feel. But fun facts. I don't even know why I brought that up. No. Just the talking process.
I don't know, man. Like when I journal, I feel like our journaling is a lot different because I feel like when I journal, it's not like sleep process journal. I feel like it's blast journal where I organize my thoughts and I organize a plan for the day that like I don't know if that makes sense or not. It could also be sleep because I'm organizing myself in a sense, but it feels like I need that outlet of like, okay, I'm like, I need to just write this down. I can't do it inside my head.
Yeah. Versavia said that to me. She's like, well, are you sleep because she's saying for me, I have to be processing NIFI to be sleep processing. You know, and she's like, if you're not processing, if I believe I took it, at least I took it that way. She's like, if you're not doing NIFI, then you're not really sleep processing, which I see what she means. But on the other end, I still need to process my logic too, because I'm missing sleep. Things are just piling up, you know, all over my logic and emotions and all that stuff. So I do have a whole list of FI questions that I wrote for myself, like what's my thoughts on success, or how do I feel about this, or how do I feel about why do I love Alex, or just things like that. I just wrote a long list so that way I can go process one question a day on my walk, like that, and things that I think I'll get interviewed on one day because I think I'm going to be famous. So, and I don't want to be stumped. Like Gary Vee always he's always well processed. He knows exactly what his personal truth is, which is phenomenal. He's never got stumped to be missing sleep. And so since I'm trying to compete with the best, I need to like be that. I have to do all these things, right? That are like tough. But anywho, see, there we go, just processing again. But anyways, yeah. So I don't know. What do you think, Joyce, really quick on that? Do you think it has to be NIFI to actually be sleep processing? Or do you think just processing in general is sleep processing?
I think you can process in different ways. So if you externally process, it's like blasting and playing. But if you're internally processing, it's consume and sleeping. So
okay, yeah, okay. So you think of it as still, yeah, okay. Because I found the only way for me to actually do that is to abandon myself from talking to anyone, from consuming anything. I just have to, I'm left with nothing but that. And then I actually do it. And then I start to get momentum and enjoy it after about 10 minutes when I hate it. First 10 minutes, I'm like forcing myself. I don't want to. But then that goes away. And then I start really enjoying it.
Yeah.
I got a question for Joyce. Joyce, if I'm like writing an article or something, or like writing a story, what do you think that process is? Do you think that's closer to sleep, or do you think that's closer to blast, or none of the above?
It would depend how you go about writing that article. I've read your articles on I think it's called Blueprint, right? Or
yeah.
Your website's really good. And the way that you write is very DI. Like when I read it, I feel the DI off of it because you're talking about you and you're talking about how you experience things. And then you're laying down your self-analysis of yourself. And then how to then eventually bring it to other people. But then like, so it's self, because I know like IPs have a certain writing style that, I've noticed, and you have that. And I guess the animal I would attribute it to is sleep consume. So I can hear you, analyzing yourself intensely. And that's like specifically DI writing. Like,
oh, I'm gonna look out for that next time I look on there. That's cool.
Yeah.
I want to get more.
Interesting. Okay, so it depends. So someone could be writing more like DE style and be more like blast play or whatever, but it just depends on the substance of what they're writing about.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Oh, now that makes me want to go look at my journals and stuff. I'm just curious to see if I notice like the DI or if I'm seeing like some DE talk. I'm probably talking a lot of tribe talk.
Totally.
Probably.
Yeah.
I'm trying to process my inner world. I guess that's the point. I don't know.
Usually these chats like eventually transform into a therapy session for us. I remember someone left like a comment on one of the videos. He's like, "This is low key a therapy." He like edited it or something, but like I was like,
"Yeah,
you're so right, man."
I got that notification. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. Something you'll notice about like DI or like even IPs when they write, it sounds like self-absorbed. It sounds kind of like self-referential. But not in a bad way. But it's almost like they're turning back on themselves to get more nuggets out of that. But like it's very distinct writing. Like you'll see it in Julian's writing. Like now,
tell me this, because I feel like when I'm trying to externally process myself, Gary Vee for a great example, I do what Gary Vee does. So probably in this talk, I probably talked a lot about myself because I'm trying to process myself, but I need the play energy to make it easier on me. I don't need it. It makes it so much easier than just being by myself trying to go in. That's way slower. That's not time efficient to me, So my question is anytime someone's trying to process their DI, does it sound the same or does it still sound different to you? Like, do you understand? Is that too abstract or?
DI has a very distinct flavor to it in writing.
Okay.
It's the easiest for me to point out. Like I can read a piece of writing from an IP, like a DI savior, and I can tell instantly that they're DI. And then meeting them will just
I.
I do notice a lot of that. And then like I notice tribe people, we're gonna write like we, us a lot.
Yeah.
Or like them, it's always about, it's just not, we don't really use I as much.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I realize the more I grow, or the more awareness I get that that's a hole in me, I do speak a lot about I. And I think almost to the point where people probably think I'm self-absorbed, right? Because I'm just like talking to them about me a lot, right? I'm just trying to process myself. So it's really, I'm like abusing the tribe, like to just process self sometimes, especially with her. Huh?
Yeah.
Do you think I do?
Yeah.
To the point that you noticed it?
Yeah.
You're doing it right now, Matt. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Being self-absorbed.
I mean, sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like it's playful though, because you're not like some people, you know, they're processing themselves with themselves. And when I talk to you, if you're doing that, I do definitely have the feedback where it's like, okay, we're in this together. I'm giving you my opinion. You're sharing your opinion. We're processing together. Well, so it doesn't feel self-absorbed in that way. It's not like I'm like,
I think it's because
why am I even here?
Out externally at all. So maybe that's why I see it kind of self-absorbed, because I'm like, dude, I'm not sitting here processing all my BS.
Yeah.
Joyce was a few people. Yeah, Joyce has got it. She sees the DI.
She sees it.
Oh,
DI,
yeah.
seeker.
Yeah.
Secret.
I'm just good at.
You might make it easier.
Like someone like so I can say a lot of things and people can relate to everything, right? So some of the things I say that are FE, like everyone can just somewhat relate to it in some way, right? But like when you're interacting with that person, like you can tell things that they're subconsciously not aware of, and that's how you can tell they're DI or DE. So you know, like how Dave and Shannon say you can't type yourself. So yeah, I realize that that's the case too, and that it's easier. Like no matter what description I give, because I'm a human being, it can be relatable. But when you're typing someone, you can tell their first instinct because you can see them objectively from outside. And so a way that I can tell like FI users, like DI users, apart from me, because I'm FE, is I can tell that they're using a different emotional process. Like when I hear them talk about the things that they value, I feel like I'm being transported to a different world. So it's like I'm in their FI world now. Like they're showing me what's important that they value, even though they don't know that they're doing that. I start to feel like when I'm around an FI user, I'm being transported to their values. But it's something subconscious too. Like they can't tell that they're doing that, but I can tell because now I feel like I'm in a different place. I feel like I'm in a different. I've traveled somewhere, and then so it helps me type FI because that's not what.
Is it up in your intuition or is it in your TI?
I thought it was her FE actually. That's what I was thinking at least.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. Oh yeah. Or your FE, I guess. What do you think is it just like you're like, I can feel it and I'm in a different world, like NI, or do you feel like you're just, is it an analytical process or an abstract process, I guess?
It feels like my FE is noticing that it's not FE.
Okay.
So it's almost like you can tick off every FE box, but if my FE is saying that that's not FE, then it means that there's something very fundamental that person's missing to have FE. And it's that being immersion. Like when I talk to an FI user, I feel like I'm being immersed in something they care about, even if they don't know that they're doing that. And that's not what I've never had an FE user make me feel that way. Cause yeah, it's just my feeling. I type people like a car mechanic. So basically, you know, when you've had a lot of cars go into your shop.
Now I hear your TI. All right, sorry.
Yeah, you can start to hear the certain engine. You can tell that it's like maybe a certain thing wrong with the car, or it's indicative of this thing above the car.
Yes.
So when you go through enough cars, you eventually have a feel for how to type people because you've went through so many cases that now it's just becoming an instinct.
That's NI, right? Wouldn't that be just like your NI, like taking a bunch of patterns and then narrowing down?
Yeah, could be.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because I feel like I can do that with I can always point out the ones that we always know is self or tribe. That's easy for us. Is like, are they self or tribe? And then what's the other one we always know? Well, then sensory or intuition seems pretty easy. But then we always get stuck on whatever. But is there anything else that's easy for us to see? I'm just curious. So. We can understand. We understand the tribe very well, and so it's like we can see the patterns and how if they want validation or significance. That's easy for us to see. That's probably the easiest for us to see.
Yeah, I'd agree with that for sure. They say, like, just to go back to what Joyce was talking about with seeing FI from FE, and just typing people. Like Dave and Shan talk about how the extroverted functions can kind of see the introverted functions, but the introverted functions can't see outside them, which is interesting to me because like when I'm talking FI and I'm talking with another FI person, I'm not thinking like, oh, it's an interesting value system going on. It just feels like we're in the same ground, or like we're talking the same language, but it doesn't go any further than that. Like I can't. I have a difficult time telling the difference. Like it's memes to me when I think about someone using FE, where it's just like oh, they're concerned with other people's values somehow.
Yeah, that's weird for me too as a demon FI.
Well, because I can see people's TI because
I can see. Yes, great. Yeah. TI is easy for me to see.
Yeah.
Because and TE, right? I always know if they're TI or TE. Yeah. That's another thing. Yeah, that's easy to see, but not when it comes to the values. It still feels like how you feel, Julian, with the FI. It's just like I don't think any further past. Like I got my inner values, you got yours. Who cares, right? You know what I'm saying? Like those are personal to me. Those are personal to you. Sweet. What else is new?
Yeah. Do they match? Great. If they don't,
if they don't, we're probably not going to get along. I'll be bored, you know. But if they, cool. All right, we should probably wrap up so this video doesn't get too long. But this was a very fun call.
It's been great. I love how we're like talking about wrapping up like 30 minutes ago, and we just kind of like
I literally just thought about that too. I was like, typical.
We're like, see ya, everyone. Thanks for hopping on, Joyce. It's been real. 30 minutes later.
She's like, dang it.
Yeah, it's like Alice in the rabbit hole or whatever.
Literally.
Alice's Wonderland, like just falling down.
Yeah. It's like one more quick question, and then that's came to here.
I had so much fun chatting, you guys.
We did too. We'd love to have you on again soon, Joyce.
If you ever want to have me on again, I'm always
we would love to. And then Alex and I are always down to jump on anyone's channels too. So if you ever need a couple to hop on, a dashingly good-looking couple.
Dashingly good.
This guy. But take care for real this time. You too.
You too, Lisa. Make sure you add us.
Yeah.
If we're not already friends.
I falsely said goodbye once.
Same.
The story of our lives.
Yeah, that's right. So, all right, guys, we're gonna go eat some ice cold sushi. We got 2 hours to go, but it's been really fun.
On the chiller.
Gotta breathe first, though.
Oh yeah, so we're gonna do some Wim Hof.
That's why I always fast until dinner, and then I end up fasting so long.
You want to do the breathing fasting?
I can't eat before I breathe.
Yes, I've heard about this too. The fasting. I'm sorry. The breathing fasted.
Yeah. You want to do it fasted if you can.
There's like a minute time difference for me if I do it before.
Mine could be like after over that. It could be like a minute and a half. Yeah.
Oh wow, interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, for those who don't know what the F we're talking about, Google Wim Hof breathing, WIMHOFF breathing, and it's interesting AF, but we don't have time to talk about it now, but it's freaking dope.
Yep.
All right, guys. Joyce, so good meeting you. Like, let's definitely get on another call sometime soon, maybe in a few weeks, because there's that much fun. Oh, Joyce, maybe we can have you on we have a podcast called Our Love, Our Journey, and maybe we can get you on there sometime, because even though we don't talk functions talks, we just talk about our love and our journey, literally, pretty much. But maybe we can get some insights from talking about, we can say,
taping.
Yeah, we can talk about patterns or things that, fights that we have or something and then you can talk about the functions of what you think they are, something like that. Because we want to get Julian sometime too. This is a good, we
had Julian once, but it was great.
That was a good chat. I was wearing my glasses.
That was a good chat. Yeah,
that's one of my favorites that I've had. So.
Yeah, I thought I was your favorite that you've had.
Nobody laughed.
I was laughing. I was just lagging.
It was just so good. You had to process it a little bit. Yeah, that's cool. But Joyce, maybe we can get you on there if you'd be interested in coming on sometime. We do video. We have a YouTube channel too called Our Love, Our Journey that we're starting, and then we do a video version for that, and then the audio for the podcast. So if you'd like to come on, which we're doing for this channel too, I think, Julian, maybe.
Yes, I think so. I feel like I have this weird feeling. Tell me if I'm wrong or not. That we should just wrap this up, and the broadcast and all the stuff that we're talking about right now should be done offline. But that's fine. That's just my weird.
Hey, you guys get in. Well, I like people just getting into our freaking inner world, whatever. But also, last night.
Yeah, why not?
We'll talk about it all later. But Joyce, we'll message you, okay, and we'll try to set something up.
For sure, yeah. I'd love to be a part of whatever you want me to be a part of.
Sweet. That'd
Perfect.
be fun. Yeah,
Get your black gloves, your black mask, your gun.
Yeah, whatever you want to be a part of. Bank robbery. Cool.
Oh
We're gonna rob some
guys,
banks.
I literally can't.
we got an accomplice. Yes. Cool. All right, guys, we gotta go. But increase in peace,
it's been
love,
real.
peace, and chicken grease. All right, guys.
Thanks everybody for watching. If you're
thank you guys for watching. Oh, now we just got more viewers popping on.
What the heck are you doing watching? It's been 2 hours of nonsense.
That's right.
Thanks
all right, thanks so much,
everybody.
guys, for watching though. And then Joyce, been really awesome getting to know you, and we can't wait to talk next time. It's gonna be fun.
It was great talking to you guys too. Bye.
All right, everybody. Have a great night, guys.
Bye bye. Yeah.
All right, see ya.
And